In September of 2023, I began full-time solo travel. Now, 2 years later, I have visited more than 20 countries and 5 continents. The experience has been more fantastic than I ever imagined. I want to take this opportunity to provide a recap of my journey. The hope here is to remind you of places that you've been or give you ideas about where to go in the future. In my mind, I've already been to some of the top destinations on the planet. Some are obvious, while others do not yet get the recognition they deserve. Let's get started. It began in Ireland, the first step in a journey that would stretch across continents. There was Galway, a perfectly sized West Coast city where the sea air is as fragrant as flowers. The cliffs of Moher rise majestically above the Atlantic with rock that has stood firm for millions of years. Inishmore, the largest of the Aran Islands, boasts a unique landscape that transports you back in time. A year later, there were 2 days in Dublin, filled with history and beauty and charm. I have eyes on Ireland to spend even longer on the Emerald Isle. Bulgaria was my first month-long stay as a solo traveler. Surrounded by Roman ruins and Orthodox churches, Vitosha Boulevard in Sofia showed me how comfortable I could be in the center of a big city. Surprisingly close, Vitosha Mountain provides respite from the crowds with inspiring attractions and remarkable vistas. Recognized as the oldest city in Europe, Plovdiv possesses a charming old town, a nearly intact Roman amphitheater, and all the comforts you could desire. It is the rare place that is instantly unforgettable. Albania is rugged, unpolished, and feels like a discovery. I stayed in Vlora, where the Ionian Sea caresses the coastline with its unmistakably Mediterranean shade of blue. Gjirokastra rises from the hillside with stone houses poised like ancient steps touching the sky. Berat, the city of 1,000 windows, fills the valley with narrow streets revealing secrets at every turn. Closed off from the world for years, Albania is now blossoming as a new European hotspot. Greece is spectacular. In so many spots in Athens, it's possible to walk amongst well-preserved remnants of 2,000-year-old structures. The Acropolis is the literal pinnacle of ancient sites. In Delphi, everyone from commoners to kings sought the advice of oracles. The amazing Greek Isle of Kea is just a short ferry ride from Athens. This entire country reflects the brilliance and ambition of those who lived here long ago. Tunisia was my first venture into Africa. The Medina of Tunis is mesmerizing, with colors, spices, and sounds combining to create a space unlike anywhere else on Earth. A short distance away, Sidi Bou Said is all blue and white, perched over the Mediterranean, looking every bit like Santorini. Nearby, the ruins of Carthage show that even empire is a temporary state. To the south, the sands of the Sahara reach beyond the horizon, but the unforgiving environment can be used as a playground. The country is so inviting and compelling. I became enamored by the Central Highlands of Mexico. Querétaro was my anchor, a colonial city whose streets and plazas are often overlooked. San Miguel de Allende shines with art and color, every moment a demonstration of why this is an expat haven. Bernal is dominated by the colossal monolith that looms above the festive town. Guanajuato is a perfect mix of tradition and vibrant splendor. This part of the country features a rhythm of life that visitors will want to adopt as their own. Colombia for me meant a month in Medellin. Once a place that inspired fear, It's now a green city that is brimming with hope and possibility. Tourists now flock to Comuna 13, viewing murals on the walls and riding escalators to the heights. Colombian coffee grows right in the city, and it's easy to trace the path from bean to cup. The Rock of Guatapé invites those who can't to navigate switchbacks to the top. This is a country that continues to transform and thrive. Peru quickly emerged as one of my favorites in Latin America. Lima city center is a captivating location, and Peruvian cuisine might be the world's best. I would be content to spend the rest of my days in the Barranco neighborhood. Miraflores is just as appealing, and its clifftop Malecon, sitting over the Pacific, is world-class. The desert oasis of Huacachina is a paradise that stands as one of Earth's most unique places. As much as I love Peru, I have only experienced a small fraction of what it offers. Paraguay is even now one of the most pleasant surprises from my travels. It felt like a place unbothered by the expectations of others, giving the opportunity to see people just as they are. Asunción wasn't polished, but I enjoyed the authenticity. My proximity to the Los Mercedes neighborhood made my stay unforgettable. The Chacarita neighborhood is as real as it gets, with murals leading the way to transformation. It took a few days to acclimate to the extreme altitude of La Paz, Bolivia. After that, though, the city gave me history and charm high in the Andes. Mi Teleférico, a network of cable cars, stands as my favorite public transportation anywhere. It's a kick exploring Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake in the world. The Uyuni salt flats make you feel like you are on another planet, searching for the boundary between land and sky. The ruins of Tiwanaku produce echoes of civilizations long gone and force contemplation about a person's place in the world. I found Romania to be positioned to burst onto the world stage as a major tourism destination. The wide boulevards and magnetic old town of Bucharest are emerging from the shadows of the past. Cebu looks like a storybook with appealing squares created in another era and buildings with eyes which stand sentry. Brasov could be the best spot in the country, medieval and inviting. Romania is simply waiting to be discovered. Conversely, Italy is among the planet's most visited countries. It was still love at first sight. The Amalfi coast is dazzling and dramatic. The towns of Amalfi and Positano draw most of the attention. For me, the smaller communities, Maiori, Minori, Ravello, Chitara, are more attractive. Pietra sul Mare, with its brilliant ceramics glistening under the Mediterranean sun, might be the best. 5 kilometers inland in the hills, Cava de' Turini could be the perfect Italian town. Pompeii demonstrates nature's power and shows how life can change in an instant. Italy has it all and is another country where I could stay forever. Turkey has long been positioned at the crossroads of the world. Asia and Europe collide, producing a cultural bonanza. Istanbul is one of the globe's greatest cities, at once historic and modern all the same. Soaring above the otherworldly landscape of Cappadocia in a hot air balloon should be on everyone's bucket list. The old harbor and seaside vibe of Antalya shows the fullness of experience that can be found in the country. Turkey is without a doubt one of the most intriguing spots on Earth. Southern Spain proved to be an ideal haven in which to escape the harshness of winter's chill. Like charms on a bracelet, the towns of the Costa del Sol sparkle by the sea. Seville or Sevilla, the lights with the flamenco, and spots such as the Plaza de España. The danger is gone from the once perilous Caminito del Rey, and what's left are dizzying heights and monumental views. Malaga astonishes with everything from the sea to the hilltops. Finding a whitewashed village like Mijas Pueblo seems to be a dream come true. I adored Spain, but I doubt I will return since so many protest visits by outsiders. Gibraltar is different, a tiny slice of Britain at the southern tip of Spain. It is dominated by the rock. You can explore the high points, complete with compelling views and macaques, while also exploring the defensive tunnels inside the monolithic mountain. It's a small area, but it has had an oversized impact on the world. My time in Morocco was fleeting, but with a lasting impact. One day in Tangier can provide memories that will consume a person's thoughts for years. Weaving through the Medina and climbing through the Kasbah gives a cultural jolt, both exciting and educational. I can't wait to spend more time in this country, which certainly possesses a multitude of secrets. My time in Thailand was spent in the northern part of the country. In Chiang Mai, the old city contains dozens of Buddhist temples, and markets fill the streets on a regular basis. It's a prime location for Songkran, where water fights persist for days in a jubilant celebration. Chiang Rai is a marvel of its own, the white and blue temples thrilling so many with visuals that are beyond words. The jungle reveals another side of the country, with Karen hill villages holding residents who know a simpler way of life. Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar converge at the Golden Triangle, which was once the heart of the heroin trade. This country was an eye-opening introduction to Southeast Asia. Vietnam welcomed me 50 years after the conflict which linked my home country, the United States, so closely to it through bombs and warfare. Da Nang features natural and man-made wonders. Marble Mountain to the south, the statue of Lady Buddha to the north. The electric seafront earns it the title of Miami of Vietnam, while the Dragon Bridge punctuates the night with fire and water. Hue is a thriving place that embraces its past within the walls of the magnificent imperial city. Hoi An stands as my favorite spot in the country. The nightly parade of lanterns and color on the river is astounding. Echoes of war are found in places such as Khe Sanh and the Vinh Mac tunnels, reminders of the recent past, which shape the present. Cambodia was a revelation with a legacy that is heavy, but a future that is full of hope. Phnom Penh is following a trajectory which could soon land it in the list of top cities in the region. It directly confronts the dreadful days of the Khmer Rouge in sites that commemorate horror and loss. Silk Island retains its tradition of weaving and gives a taste of the countryside, all only minutes from the bustling city. Kampot is special, a river town near the coast, known worldwide for the delightful punch contained within its signature pepper. Cambodia is rising, and I can't wait to see what it becomes. I spent my time in Indonesia on the island of Java. Jakarta buzzes with the rush of a megacity, seemingly slowing down only on Sunday mornings when main streets are left to runners, walkers, and bikers. Bogor is centered around one of the grandest botanical gardens you will find anywhere. Bandung is a high-speed train ride away from Jakarta, topping out at 217 miles per hour. The city is fantastic, but the best parts are outside. There's the White Crater inside an active volcano and plenty more, including tea plantations. Yogyakarta is where tradition and creativity meet in the shadow of Borobudur and Prambanan, temples that enthrall. The island nation of Indonesia offers a nearly infinite number of possibilities. Malaysia was an almost ideal mix of modernity and history. Kuala Lumpur rivals Singapore as Southeast Asia's best city, its buildings reaching the heavens. The Petronas Towers are a shiny, imposing landmark that reflects the country's ambitions. Batu Caves, just north of the city, provides a natural and spiritual awakening, while on Jalan Alor, every culinary desire is fulfilled as street food becomes theater. Malacca tells its layered story with Portuguese, Dutch, and English accents. Penang is intoxicating from its eclectic mix of street art to the Chinese clan jetties where people still make their homes. Malaysia always comes to mind when people ask me about my favorite places that I have been. The Philippines was all water and wonder. Cebu City might be the country's most historic location. That's why the Cebu IT Park is a youthful monument to a future full of technical advancement. Moalboal is representative of the abundance of tropical resorts. Beaches look like paradise, while the universe under the waves rewards divers and snorkelers with connections to other species. The Philippines might not have been my favorite, but it is remarkable just the same. 2 years, 21 countries, countless memories. I travel solo, but I never feel lonely. Every place, every experience, every smile from a stranger fills me with a sense of gratitude for the ability to travel this glorious planet. My hope is that each of you can discover at least a little of this world in the same way that I have. It is my guess that full-time travel is within the reach of many people, and they don't even realize it. I've kept track of expenses, and the amount that I've spent is roughly $2,500 per month. That is being aware of a budget, but I haven't deprived myself of anything really. I've always said that I will travel for as long as I can, or as long as I want to. Hopefully, this will continue for many more years. I have scores of new places to visit on my list. Stay with me here on Old, Alone, and Far From Home, and you'll get a chance to see them all.